Hello everyone, welcome back to RCH Builders. So today we're going to be starting on a project. So first thing I'm going to do is find out exactly what I need for this. Looks like from what I can see it's probably 1/2 inch sheetrock. Looks like they've probably already kind of furred it out, but I'd like to see for sure and see what I'm going to need to replace this and fix this. The owner's plan on trying to reuse this. He's going to be putting it in, but he's probably going to be lowering all of the baseboard around the room after the new flooring is put in. So just going to leave that here for him. And looks like they've got a sheet from here to here. We don't need to replace all of that. I'm not sure how level or plumb the stud is, but I'm going to try to cut up through the center of the stud. And it looks like the sheet stops up here, because I can see a cracked sheetrock joint there, which is probably where 8 feet is. No, that's not. It's 8-foot ceilings, so I'm not entirely sure why they did that then. Maybe didn't want to mess with the crown molding up there when they did it. But what I can do, we should be able to do, and this is just crumbling. I should be able to take this side right along the joint that they've got without having to cut over on this side. They do still have the old plaster slats behind it. So as I started taking this off, I was actually thinking what this probably was, and I think this kind of somewhat confirms it, is at some point like a lot of these old houses here, this was split up into a duplex, is what I'm guessing. And either a duplex or it was simply, again, very common for them to have two doors. This, I think, used to be an exterior door. That's why these slats all stop here and then go across at the top. And there is sheetrock up here that's not with the rest of it. But with this, instead of that line that I had there, I will be able to measure over and follow the stud that way. So the bottom's actually good right there. But this, yeah, that's not very, this is nowhere near level. This is where my line was when I leveled it. This is where the stud, the center of the stud is way over here. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my impact with a Phillips bit and remove the screws that are in the way. I don't like leaving them. You can do it later, of course, while you're out here putting in the drywall, but I don't like, you know, just waiting, because then you forget, you try to put the drywall up there, you mess it up. So I'm just going to real quick remove the screws, and this will be ready as soon as I am ready for that. Over here, we've got this bubble, and I just want to basically kind of cut out the bad part, and then we'll go from there later. And this actually looks like there was no tape here at all. Basically just trying to create an indent with no loose edges, because you can build up with the mud. A lot easier than feathering out over a hump. This crack up here by this door, this looks like they probably still have the original plaster here, which has cracked. This is usually easier filled with spackle or even silicone caulking. Otherwise, sheetrock mud is apt to just crack again. Checking around. So the edge where it joins the brick there will just need to be caulked. This over here, again, in the corner, my guess is there was no tape ever put there. So we'll just have to tape over that. Just a little extra buildup there, getting rid of it. Looks like a nail hole that wasn't patched properly previously. Inside the closet here, it's mainly going to be, we're going to need to do some hot patches, which I'll show you how I do those later. On either side of these two boxes that somebody put in. But at least they got the wire in the wall on this one as opposed to in the other closet. So, but it's still wide open right next to it. So here we just got some nail holes. Nothing major. So from there, I think this room is ready for the mud. I just need to go ahead real quick. I'm gonna make my list. Basically sheetrock mud and sheetrock tape. That's all I need in here. All right, so this room is gonna be pretty easy, simple. It's gonna be just a little bit of tape, sheetrock tape, a little bit of sheetrock mud. I don't even think I have any hot patches in here at all. It's just nail holes primarily, and I mainly need the tape for right there under that window. So, and then I also put on my list about an 18 by 18 inch piece of plywood for this instead of that piece of sheetrock that's there. Kitchen, I'm probably not going to show me prepping this. This in here, again, is going to be very simple as far as it's going to be just a little bit of mud for nail holes. That's it. Otherwise than that, we simply got the drain system under the sink. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring a standard setup for a kitchen sink, dual sink, along with my little tub that I have that has a whole bunch of different fittings for making different setups of P-traps. And I'll see what I can do with that and write down anything more if I need to get something else. So not gonna take it apart, that way he can still use it for washing his paintbrushes and all that stuff for now. This room in here, again, is going to be just some tape. We'll probably be doing a hot patch on this one. It is a little bit of a bigger hole, but otherwise it's just going to be nail holes and fixing a little bit of tape joints. Then go in here. Again, in here it's just a bunch of nail holes, primarily on this side over here where the bathroom is, and then getting this right here cut back where I can do either a hot patch or a tape patch. I'm not sure. It'll depend on how that breaks off in there. And then in the bathroom, for that, I'm going to go underneath. We'll do that last to look at it and hopefully get what we need for there. Okay, so in here, again, should be mostly just some more tape. I'm going to have to retape that joint there. Other than that, mud. I do believe maybe a little bit of caulking for that corner. And then the other thing is we're going to need, of course, some wire and probably 2 rework boxes and a rework style light box for up in the ceiling in there. So that should be it up here. Again, just going to go ahead and get this room ready for the mudding real quick, and then we'll go underneath and look at that bathroom from down there. All right, so what I'm not sure of is we can see that right here on the addition part. So of course this is the original house, this is the addition where this is where the bathroom is that's inside. But we can see there that they have sheet metal screwed over what it would be an opening right here. But I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure, that for heat and air, there has probably been a hole busted through from the old into this area, and that's why this is screwed off, because this looks like it's been screwed in pretty well a long time ago. So we're going to have to try to go in from here, the original, through the original house, and don't know exactly how tight it is or where that opening may be. So we don't know because I haven't gone that far yet. We can see that they've put, at some point across the living room, they have put in a set of jack style floor jacks to help support that floor due to overspanning, and that may be an issue that we're having in the bathroom back there. So we shall see when we get back yonder. This is always fun. Also, we can see, which I'm needing to turn on the flashlight for me. Y'all can actually see better than me when it's there, because the camera has an adjustment that I don't have with my eyeballs. So they've actually put a jack under the main beam as well to help jack that up, and I need to let him know that right there where that either a hose bib is or something, there is a leak. You can see it dripping out of there. So I'll let him know that while I was down here I noticed that. So, and I'm pretty sure that goes out to a hose bib more than likely. We can verify that when we go back outside. But let's see, as we go down through here, what else we can find. There's just one more thing with crawling around underneath these places, the fun stuff that we get to do in between things, looking for spiders, snakes. All right, let's see. I might be able to somewhat see through there. This opening. I don't like that. Let's move this insulation. Well, that doesn't look good. Well, there's definitely water sitting up under there, which doesn't help with moisture issues. I can't get through here, but I could probably bust through here. However, for what I'm looking for, I don't know. Let's see. Let me try and get y'all through there. That way maybe I don't have to go through. So we can see there's definitely some water damage there. And there's a pretty hefty distance between those two. So I think we are definitely going to have to do that from above. At least cut the plywood out and then go from there. Because I don't see an easy way for me to get under there from here. Looks like I could maybe get in over there, but then the ductwork's going to be in my way to get back this direction. And even if I could, I'm not going to be able to do it with any kind of material to shore that up. So, that's what we needed to see at least. From there, we're just going to have to cut up some floors and find out what we need that way. Okay, so now I can see what the issue is. It's multiple things. One, again, this is OSB that is not rated to be in here in a wet location or damp location. And so that has gotten damaged over time. They doubled it up to try to make it stronger, which does make it stronger, but it still doesn't help with the fact of the moisture issue. But the big issue, and I'm guessing it's probably the same thing over here with the toilet, is the fact that you see this joist right here that is right in the middle of that big sag. It looks like they do actually have them 6 down center, which is good here. As far as the fact that I should be able to replace this and fix this without messing with the tub or the vanity, which is one thing I was thinking I may have to do. So it looks like there's a joist right about here, so I can cut in the middle of this. And there's a joist around here, so I can cut in the middle of that joist. And then repair or replace this section here. But the big issue is this joist has multiple things wrong with it. One, it's got a crack going down through it, so it needs to be sistered and added onto, which will be a lot easier once I cut out this section. The other thing is for some reason, when they went and put that vent in, instead of shifting it that way, putting that vent over there, you can see that that joist is heading right into that. So they should have put this vent over here more, and it would have been just fine. But instead, they cut this joist off over here. It's just, it ends like right about here. And then they did not put a header, which you can do that, but you need to put a header ledger across this way from this joist to this joist that helps re-support that. And that was not done. So this joist is just hanging on this end, not connected to anything. So that, along with the OSB, has just exacerbated. And I would not be surprised if that is the same issue right here by the toilet that may have been created either for one of two things, either for the toilet flange drain, the drain for the toilet, or the drain for the shower. One of those two things is my guess has cut that joist underneath, and that joist is going to have to be reattached correctly. But at least I know what I'm going to need. I can make myself a list of both plywood and 2x8s. And I'll be ready tomorrow when I come back out here to start doing a bunch of things. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll see you the next time.